Biking the Boulevards continues. Looking around Chicago, it seems everyone is getting in on a bicycling craze. And yet, when cycling was introduced to this city, it was anything but a populous pastime. The high-wheel bicycle of the 1870s cost as much as $300, nearly a year's wages for your average Chicagoan. Cycling wasn't so much an everyday mode of transportation as it was a high-class form of leisure. Most wheelmen, as bicyclists were known, belonged to one of Chicago's fashionable cycle clubs. Its wealthy members gathered at well-appointed clubhouses to dine and play billiards at the end of a long day of riding. Today, a handful of nostalgia-seeking clubs are keeping up the traditions of Chicago's early cyclists, including the Schwinners.
Chicago's early cyclists tended to be not only rich, but athletic. The big front wheel is a chore to climb, and once you're up here, it's not much easier to pedal. The slightest rut can send a rider tumbling.
But all that changed with the popularization of the so-called safety bicycle in the 1890s. It was not only easier to ride, it was cheaper than a horse, and you didn't have to feed it. Middle-class Chicagoans used these machines to get around town and to get out of town. On Sundays, they escaped their overcrowded neighborhoods by following the city's well-paved boulevards to the outlying parks and beyond. For many women, the bicycle offered their first opportunity to explore the city on their own and get some exercise. What's more, it liberated them from restrictive Victorian clothing. Women traded in their dresses for more practical riding attire, like bloomers and divided skirts. These shocking new fashions did raise more than a few eyebrows. Many worried that biking would overdevelop a woman's leg muscles and afflict her with a skin condition known as scorcher's flush. Though one prominent conservative was decidedly pro-bicycle. The Evanston-based temperance crusader Frances Willard took up cycling at the age of 53. She wrote a best-selling book which championed bicycling as an emancipating force for women. But the 19th century's biggest female cycling sensation was a Jewish mother of three named Annie Kopczowski. She biked around the world in 11 months, starting and ending her journey in Chicago. She financed the trip in part through product endorsements and by placing ads on her Chicago-made Sterling brand bicycle.
But Sterling wasn't the only local bike brand. In the 1890s, Chicago became the bicycle-building capital of America.
It was said that 2/3 of the nation's bikes were produced in Chicago by 88 local companies. You can still see their former factories scattered across the city. The most famous was founded by German immigrant Ignaz Schwinn and wheatpacker Adolf Arnold. Schwinn got its start making high-quality racing bikes in 1895, but really hit it big, designing bikes that were stylish and fun. The company struck gold in the 1950s and 60s when it made millions of Phantom, Stingray, and Varsity models for suburban baby boomers. Schwinn was based on Chicago's west side until 1993, when it skipped town to Boulder, Colorado.
Now, let's continue riding north along the boulevards through Chicago's historic west side.